would it have been better for Game Freak to have broken this cycle earlier? Just, I don't know, maybe it didn't have to happen with Gen 2. Maybe with Gen 3 saying, hey, we're in a new part of the world, they have different Pokemon here, that's it. Just draw that hard cutoff and set that expectation early before we set the expectation like 8 Pokemon games later.
Yeah, it's tough because in the early days, for them to have all the Pokemon in the games all the time was like a selling point, right? It's like this really cool thing that they're doing that like a lot of other games don't do, and it's special and neat and fun. And then like it's practical for a certain number of games, and then there's a certain number of games where it's like middle of the road, where maybe it's starting to get uneasy, and maybe that's the point where they should have cut it off, I guess, is like, I don't know. I think the easiest time to have done it retroactively would have been 5th gen. So I don't know how familiar you are, Jet, with Pokemon generations. To my understanding, you kind of jumped on with like Sun and Moon or X and Y, or
yes.
Kind of later in the series. But 5th gen was like kind of a soft reboot in the sense that until you beat the game, none of the Pokemon from the National Dex appeared in the game. So you would play through the entire game with only Pokemon from that region, and then it was only after you finished the entire game that you could start bringing in some of the more familiar ones. But that I guess, rather than having it so that like at the end of this game you can start bringing in all your buddies from previous games, that would have been the time to be like, all right, we're like, this is the reboot. This is the time that we're gonna start cutting you all off a little bit. I guess that would have been, if there is such a thing as an ideal time, and I'm not fully convinced that there was or would be, that would have been the time.
Yeah. To your point, like that absolutely was a selling point of like, hey, all the Pokemon are here, but maybe in retro, I don't know. Was it worth eventually hitting this point, or just kind of going down this rabbit, making the break earlier? And I don't know if we'll ever know the answer to that. And also, Switch Decaf, how you doing this evening? And also, Switch Decaf says, get him, Jet. Thank you.